Good evening, everybody. This is Sir Jude, and this is our video lecture for our lesson this morning. Apologies if I recorded at this very late time, no, because of coinciding commitments. But here we are, so let's proceed, no. So we started our new lesson with with two reactions, no. The first one is melting of ice, which is a phase change because solid water turns to or melts into liquid water. And the second one is burning of paper, wherein solid paper burns with the help of oxygen gas and it turns into ash and some water vapor. Okay, so in science, we don't, even if the shortcut term for this processes are written as what you saw above, no, we express these kinds of reactions in terms of chemical equations with several chemical formula, numbers, symbols, and even elements. Okay? So our new lesson has something to do with parts of a chemical equation. So there are 7 parts of chemical equation based on the template that I asked you to write this morning. So we have arrow, catalysts, coefficients, heat, products, reactants, and states of matter. We started our discussion with the arrow, and we have two kinds of arrows, no? So we have arrow pointing to the right, indicating that the reaction is considered irreversible. It's irreversible, meaning it prefers to form the reagent C and D, making it product favored. Okay. On the other hand, if the arrow is considered double-sided, which is not found on our equation template, then therefore that reaction is considered reversible, meaning it can be product and reactant favored or oriented. All right. Next. So we'll be using the two introductory examples as our reference points in each part of the chemical equation, no? So let's answer the question, is the reaction irreversible or reversible? So for melting of ice, it's reversible because of the presence of the double-sided arrow, meaning if ice melts into water, you can still return water back to ice by freezing it, which is the opposite of melting. On the other hand, for burning of paper, it's an irreversible reaction, not only because of the arrow pointing to the right, but also when you once you burn paper, it turns into ash and you can't return ash back to paper anymore. Okay? Next po. Next part has something to do with our starting materials. And all chemical equations begin with the starting materials, which are represented by capital A and B, and we will call them reactants. So as mentioned, without reactants, there will be no chemical reaction because they are the starting materials. And with respect to the arrow, they are found at the left side. So going back to our two sample reactions, no, for melting of ice, the single reactant is solid water, while for burning of paper, the two reactants are solid C6H10O5, which is cellulose, and gaseous diatomic oxygen O2. Right. Next, if we start with A and B, we end with C and D, and C and D are the products, no? And as ending materials, their presence is an indication that the reaction is successful. Especially kung medyo, if you are targeting a certain amount in a chemical reaction, no? Now, with respect to the arrow, products are found at the right side. So going back to melting of ice, our single product is liquid water, while for burning of paper, our products are gaseous carbon dioxide, CO2, and water vapor or gaseous water. Okay, next, our next part has something to do with the small A, B, C, and D, and we will call them coefficients. When we say coefficients, they refer to the number of moles or molecules of each reagent. So for vocabulary purposes, we'll be using moles for most of the time. Ha? Okay. So how many moles or molecules are there in each reagent? Let's start with melting of ice first. And this one is a bit tricky because you don't see any numbers beside H2OS as well as H2OL. And if there are no direct or explicit numbers to the left of the reagent, then automatic the coefficient is number 1. So you have 1 mole of H2O, solid H2O, and 1 mole of liquid H2O as well for melting of ice. But when it comes to burning of paper, you have 1 mole of solid C6H10O5, 6 moles of gaseous oxygen, 6 moles of gaseous carbon dioxide CO2, and 5 moles of water vapor or gaseous water, H2O. Okay, next. Yeah, no? So we're done with our primary actors or protagonists in the chemical reaction. Let's proceed to the supporting players. And our supporting player has something to do with letter E, no? Which is the catalysts. If A and B take too slow to materialize or to react, we need the presence of letter E because they're regenerated materials speeding up the reaction. We will be tackling catalysts probably 2 to 3 weeks from now, but as of the moment, yeah, these are regenerated materials and you can find them either at the top or bottom of the arrow. I'm not referring to the triangle symbol here. That's a different scenario, huh? So focus only on reagents that are found at the top or bottom of the arrow. So going back to our two sample equations, both of them have no catalyst because we don't have any reagents found at the top or bottom of their respective arrows. Because if you look at it realistically, when you melt ice, it just happens on its own. No, it don't need doesn't need any intervention from people or doesn't need any chemicals in order to materialize smoothly. Just the presence of heat from the sun will do the job. Okay. However, for burning of paper, also don't need any catalyst because the burning of paper with the help of is facilitated already with the presence of oxygen gas. Okay, and once burning starts, just let it burn until all of them turn black and become ash. Okay, next. Only two more left, no? The final set of letters refer to the states of matter. So this one is easy peasy. For S, we have solid, L for liquid, and G for gas. And the new one and the unfamiliar one is AQ because AQ refers to aqueous solutions or substances which are dissolved in water. Okay, so what are the states of each reagent in each reaction? Let's start with for H2O reactant of in melting of ice that's solid, its H2O product is liquid. Okay. For cellulose, 6H10O5, that's solid because it represents paper. For O2, it's gas, as well as CO2 and H2O. All of them are gases. All right. So our final part has something to do with heat, and that's represented by the triangle symbol. That means that heat was applied or required in order for the reaction to push through. Okay, so was heat applied in melting of ice and burning of paper? Obviously, both of them. Yes, heat was applied because of the presence of triangle. You need heat in order for ice to melt into water because it's endothermic reaction. Also need heat by the presence of fire in order for paper to burn. Okay, and those are the parts of the chemical equation. So one, you have arrow, two reactants, three products, four coefficients, five catalysts, six states of matter, and seven, you have heat applied or simply heat. Okay, so our finale, like recitation or wrap up, has something to do with photosynthesis, which is carried out by plants in the presence of sunlight in order to produce food. So plants need carbon dioxide from us no? And you need to water them down in order for them to grow tall and perform other botanical functions. And the main product is sugar in the form of aqueous solution of glucose. And of course, we depend on their gaseous waste, which is oxygen. So let's answer the following questions, no? So for photosynthesis, is the reaction reversible or irreversible? And then how did we know? So for photosynthesis, the reaction is irreversible because of the presence of arrow pointing to the right side or simply to the right. Okay. Next, for number two, what are the reactants in the reaction? How did you know? So for number two, the reactants for photosynthesis are, sorry if the color of the text doesn't match to the or doesn't suit to the background, no? I'm not using my tablet and yeah, I'm too tired to change just for the color. But anyway, for the reactants, um, it's CO2 and H2O because both of them are found at the left side of the arrow. For number three, what are the products in the reaction? How did we know? So the products are C6H12O6. I'm sorry if I can't actually type subscripts because there are no subscript functions for annotation here. So it's C6H12O6 and O2 gas. So they're found at the right side of the arrow. Okay? So how many moles or molecules do each reagent have? So kanina ni-rumble ko but let's answer from left to right. So respectively for CO2 it's 6, for H2O it's 6, for C6H12O6 it's 1, and for O2 it's 6 respectively. Okay? So all you have to do is just look at the underlined coefficients. Okay? Let's proceed to our final slide. Number five, what are the catalysts in photosynthesis? And then how did we know? So the catalyst is sunlight because it is found at the top side of the arrow. Okay. Next is number six. What are the states of each reagent? Again, respectively from left to right, CO2 is gas, H2O is liquid, C6H12O6 is aqueous, and finally O2 is a gas as well. No solid reagents. Okay. And number seven, was heat applied in the reaction? How did you know? The answer is yes, because of the presence of the triangle symbol. Okay, so there you go. These are the seven parts of a chemical equation. All you have to do, all chemical equations were given to you. All you need to do was just identify the each part, no? But tomorrow, I will be the one providing you the parts, and you will be the one composing or writing a complete chemical equation. Okay, so I know that there's math involved starting with this lesson, but don't you worry. That's why I'm here. I'm here to hopefully, no, ease the burden of these very abstract and what do you call this, cerebral topics for you, no? Kasi yung last set of lessons natin, napaka-relatable and very accessible to you. And this one po, no, is medyo technical, wala pa namang competition but at the same time it's very alienating, no? Kumbaga diretso kagad dito, wala man lang tawag dito layo, jumping point from acids, bases, and salts to here. But then again, we'll be tackling chemical equations for 3 weeks, and it's my job to make it hopefully easy for you. But until then, goodbye, good night, thank you, and see you tomorrow.